Hey guys, so right out of the gate, we got to talk about Marco's outburst because this is one of those moments for the character that definitely gives him a lot more layers, at least compared to his original anime counterpart, where you can tell Marco almost had this expectation of wanting Yo to reject the offer, because in some weird idea in Marco's head, but pretty much Yo rejecting the offer to revive Ren and get out of the tournament, that would have exposed him as being just as evil as Hao, or just in general to show Yo wasn't as genuine or as a good person as he appeared to be. So, like he was wanting to see that. I so seeing Yo accept the offer to just drop out of the tournament like that in order to save Ren, I love how that just completely shook his pretty much shook like Marco's entire worldview in that single moment. Like he's Marco is kind of interesting in the sense where he's been fighting Hao and committed to that singular goal of destroying him for so long that he almost just doesn't know how to process something that ideologically challenges what he's believed to be the righteous path. And in this one moment, those concepts of black and white that he's thoroughly believed in are, up to this point, are being splashed with shades of gray to such a degree where, to him, admitting any of this openly now in this moment would be the equivalent of saying that he and the X-Laws are just as bad as Hao. Like, they might have succeeded, like, Marco might have succeeded in getting Yo out of the tournament, but Yo basically walks away with the moral high ground for putting Ren's life above the tournament. And no matter how much Marco may pretty much call Yo an idealistic fool after this, nothing can change the fact that Marco is going to be doing a lot of soul searching after this. Like for Marco, this is his moment where he's like, what have I been fighting? What have I believed in? This man before me should have been just as evil as Hao. So how the hell is he not as evil as Hao? Like that's what's in his mind. He just can't process this shit. And I love how like with when we pretty much see Lyserg there, we Lyserg himself, he pretty much knew how this was going to go. The only one who wasn't shocked by what happened here, I think, was Jean and Lyserg. Like those are the two people who were like, how did you think this was gonna? Well, I think in their minds are thinking, how did you think this was gonna go, Marco? Like that's like it's you like Marco, I think, is finally understanding a lot more about Yo than he originally thought. With that said, though, the main thing to talk about with this episode is that it gives us a flashback to more of Yo's past, specifically when he met Anna. And I've made it no secret that I am not the biggest fan of the whole Anna-Yo aspect of the series in any form, frankly. But I do admit, revisiting this in the reboot, it gives me more of a refreshing perspective in the sense where it shows us that both Anna and Yo, like very early on, even just in that like initial moments of their life, they pretty much realized right from the get-go that being paired up as husband and wife was something that was forced upon them. And when you really look at that relationship nowadays, you realize that they've really just tried to make the most of it, and all the while still showing that there are aspects of genuine love that they have for each other as well. And while I'm not going to claim to be an expert, from what I've heard, this is something that hasn't entirely died out among Japanese culture. So it is interesting to see that for however much things may change with the times, there's a lot more that does die out. So there's a lot more that just doesn't die out so easily. And in this case, it's even true for shaman families, which again itself, it really it really shows just how much Yoh and Anna they really tried to make the most of their situation at this point. And in some, I like how in some respects it pretty much did show that upon their initial meeting, Yoh himself he pretty much did actually have a crush on Anna. The only thing that might have broken it for him is the fact that he realized that Anna's kind of a bit of a firecracker, at least more than he expected her to be. And and one other thing I especially love though about this flashback is how we do get a lot more of an introspective from Yoh, and just how lonely he truly felt during this time of his life, and really just did like during this time of his life. Yoh, you can tell he really did anything he could to carry on before meeting Mata. Like to him, even though Anna was basically just kind of like a formal thing thrust upon him, he still tried to make the most of it. And Anna in herself was like the first turning point. Was the first turning point to that, and Manta became But the moment he became friends with Manta is where Yoh like truly started to be able to break free away from all the expectations and traditions that were thrust upon him. And yeah, obviously on Anna's side of the story, it does give more perspective on just how much. Obviously the one thing we are going to see throughout this is we're going to see more of just how Anna truly does care about Yoh, which is a definite improvement over the original anime, where honestly she felt kind of there and exists with a very standard reason for being in the story. So just the fact that we are getting a lot more of this like emotional background like to that relationship, it does help me like believe it a lot more. Which on that note, this episode did two things right that I never really thought all that much about from the original anime, which is it actually made me kind of care about Anna's background as a spirit medium a lot more. Like when you pretty much look at Anna's background as one of the students of from Shio's grandma, the first one who trained Anna. You can tell that Anna herself, she didn't have anything. She was just she was just an orphan girl who was just kind of angry at herself, angry at the world, all that kind of shit. Like just in these, you can just tell that. But and it really dives into just how important being a spirit medium is to her, because it's like the first time that she's ever found like a purpose in life in a lot of ways. So yeah, it's good in that. And the other thing I love, which obviously this character wasn't in the original anime, but even though this character was really only a one-off character that they really made and only in the manga, I think in this flashback and a little bit near the in the back half of the story, they really made me care for that. They really became they really the anime really made me care for whatever his name is. It's from Matamune, which again from my knowledge, the split-tailed cat spirit. From my knowledge of the manga, he's kind of a character that only appears one more time in the series after this. But just within this flashback, they really made sure I felt his presence in the story, and that first impression really stick, because now I kind of feel disappointed that his major appearance is really only within this flashback. Everything else is just going to be he's still going to have one other appearance, but it's going to be a bit of a spiritual thing, I think is what it is. Now, on that note, I do want to talk about pacing of this episode, because apparently Studio Bridge is treating this flashback as, I guess, a multi-part, anime special, and I'd be lying if I didn't say it clearly shows, because the pacing in this episode is odd. As you can clearly tell, they're slowing it down to make certain aspects of the backstory fit into the episode while leaving other elements for the next. I mean, to give an example, it felt like it took forever just to get to the point of Anna and Yoh meeting for the first time, and that did make the episode feel like a bit of a slog. But at the same time, the slower pace definitely gave much more of an atmosphere to a lot of scenes, and made them feel like they carried more weight. Even those scenes that weren't covering the flashback, I honestly felt a lot more like tension and emotional connection to, in again, just with the scene between Marco and Yo's group and him and Marco lashing out. I felt a lot more tension in that scene than I did in the manga. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. I'm on Twitter and on this Crunchyroll. Be sure to hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, and just share the video around, guys. Dark Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, everyone.